Prices that we're seeing right now are the best prices we've seen since the FTX crash, bar none. Every single altcoin indicator, every oversell indicator on ETH, every fear greed thing is flashing buy. Everything is flashing that people have completely overreacted here and oversold. I see a bunch of stupidity, and I want to talk about why. And unlike other videos where I insult and call you an idiot for disagreeing with me, it has less than a couple years experience in crypto to be playing with those because you don't understand what's happening. The reason why people are so upset right now is that they don't understand how to buy and sell those coins. They can buy just fine, but they don't know how to sell coins. What I think is going to happen for the rest of 2025.
알렉스 베커는 2020년 암호화폐에 대한 통찰력 있는 분석과 함께 급부상하며 현재 그의 유튜브 채널은 150만이 넘는 구독자를 확보하고 있습니다. 매수와 매도, 타이밍에 대해 직관적인 분석을 제시하며 많은 사람들이 그 누구보다 상황을 솔직하게 말해준다고 평가하고 있죠. 매 영상마다 수십만 조회수를 기록하며 현재 암호화폐 시장에서 가장 영향력 있는 분석가 중 한 명인데요. 이런 그가 2025년 알트코인 시장에 대한 분석을 내놓았습니다.
I'm just going to lay out the case right here about what's going on in the market, why this buy opportunity looks ridiculous, why the risk looks to not being exposed to the market, aka if you're not exposed to the market right now, that's the risk. And how I think the rest of 2025 is going to play out. We got people saying that Elon's causing a recession, Trump is causing a recession, all this fear and mass chaos and stuff like that. I think it's all kind of ridiculous. I don't think anything we're seeing in the price right now is reasonable. I don't think it's anywhere near the level of chaos or danger that was with the FTX crash, where people's crypto bank accounts were literally exploding. I don't think this is like COVID, where there's a pandemic that could shut down the entire world. I don't see any of that type of actual macro going on here. I see a bunch of stupidity. These markets are absolute garbage. Buying right now feels terrible. I just bought F-ton of crypto, and it was not a fun experience. It was like licking a toilet seat at Walmart. But every single time that has happened in my life, every time I've had that effect, I bought in the FTX crash just a tiny bit. I bought during COVID, and every single time I did that, it just felt terrible. That's when I saw the craziest gains. I'm sure you're sitting here right now, you're looking at your portfolio, it's super down, and if you're in altcoins and everything, you're just totally wrecked right now. What's going on in the markets? There's a whole bunch of things we can say that's going on in the markets that caused this crash right here. I think we're looking at a trifecta of things going on here. One, stock market's crashing. That's the number one thing that's going on right now. Two, obviously the tariff talks and everything is slowing down the economy, and it's making stocks for the first time not be up only, which is again causing all markets to crash right here. On top of that, crypto is falling to that as well. Three, we saw massive overextension with meme coins, and a lot of people were completely off sides right there, so they're having to sell and take a lot of losses right now. We're also seeing tons and tons and tons of retail being pushed out of the market right now. This is all a little bit silly, but we're looking at, for all intents and purposes, a small detox that's occurring after the 4 years. And I'm not here to blame this on Biden or Trump. I'm not here to do any of that. Obviously, this has more to do with Trump right now than it does with Biden. Obviously, the economy we saw the last 4 years had to do with Biden. Because if you look at the last 4 years, it was just endless amounts of faking it to make it. Everything in the stock market was inflated. But if you looked at the actual underlying dollars and everything, people were not doing well in that economy. And we basically saw a falsely stimulated economy under Biden for 4 years. Just endless printing, endless manipulation of stuff to make things go up and make set prices go up, because that's what everybody wanted right there. Now, what we're seeing in the Trump administration right now is they're reeling in about a lot of things, which is hurting the economy. It's taking it off the drugs and steroids. I don't think this is going to give us a huge, crazy long-term recession. I think this is going to cause a big dip like we saw when Reagan took office, and I think we're going to see a lot of up only from here. I'm going to explain why in a second. For all intents and purposes, let's just frickin' say that. What I think is happening is we're having an economic detox right here. We're getting out of an economy that was based on endless fluffing up on printing of dollars and government jobs and the government throwing money at stuff to artificially pump the markets and make assets go up, but everybody else get very poor. If you notice the last 4 years, assets and everyone owned assets got very, very rich. Actually, they didn't get rich. Inflation-wise, we kind of treaded water. If you look at the stock market and everything like that, if you were just holding the S&P and stuff like that, which was up 10, 15%, you really actually didn't make money. You just kind of went with the base layer of money. Everybody didn't have assets, got extremely poor the last few years. This wasn't really so much a bull run the last couple of years in assets. It was more so assets just maintaining the absolute craziness inflation we're seeing. And of course, we saw bull runs in some other assets. I'm not saying we did not. I'm saying it's not like a bull run where we saw the dollar maintain its value and then the stock market going up in relation to the value of the dollar. We didn't see some crazy bull run there. Now, what I think we're about to see is that type of bull run, because what we're looking at, if you look at inflation data right now, inflation's just absolutely crashed. The stock market is crashing as well. What does this mean? It means that the Federal Reserve is going to drop rates. And I look at Trump and I see a guy that's pretty egocentrical. He's pretty vain, and I think takes the stock market price personally. There is absolutely no way, once he gets rates down and the ability to play with the money printer with a low inflation US dollar, which we haven't seen since COVID. It's been almost 5-6 years. We're going to see the printer come on, and we're going to see low rates, and we're going to see free money return. I don't think people remember how crazy pre-COVID was when you could get loans for essentially for free. What this means is you could just get free money. Just that was it. And not only was the money free, the inflation on it was very low. So you could literally just take a crazy ass loan and then put it or loan the money out again, and all sorts of hoopla and nonsense was going on right there. And it all came to a head. And if you want an example of how extreme it can be, look at, I do not see Trump I see him just pumping the hell out of the markets out. But if we're looking at everything right here, the real star of the show and the thing that we really want to talk about is going to be Ethereum, because what we're trying to see here is we want to see alt season, and everything that we're going to see and where we're going to get our biggest gains at is going to be in the altcoins that I'm going to talk about in this video. I think from these lows right here, AI coins, RWA coins, and potentially gaming coins later this year are going to deliver an absolute insane returns. But I'm not going to talk about this in the video. I want to talk about the overarching thing that is going on here. And really, if you're a beginner or you're kind of new to crypto or something like that, you don't need to be dabbling in those coins. You can do really well here with a big giant coin like AVAX or something. So everything that we need to happen right here depends on Ethereum. And what we're just seeing with Ethereum and Bitcoin in the overall market right now, let me just bring up a few things. So the reason why I'm just stupidly kind of bullish here is if we look at just a few basic indicators that pop up, these are not going to be the end all and the everything and the make or break in what's happening in the markets. And you can't always rely on these things. Now, I'm saying I've never seen a point in the last couple of years where every single indicator is flashing by. So either we're at what we usually see or what we've seen at the FTX lows and the COVID lows where people are just being ridiculous, or we're about to see the next Great Depression. I'm not thinking we see the next Great Depression here. I'm not thinking we get World War III. That's just where my bet is right now. And if you look at, for example, this chart right here, altcoins are at the most ridiculous lows, this oversoldness that we've ever seen. Now, a lot of these charts that I'm showing you right here, I'm going to show you, were taken about a week ago or a couple days ago before the crash that we're seeing right now. Most of these charts are down. These were already flashing by like a week ago. They are flashing deep buy, like put your liver into it kind of buys right now. And if you want to get to the best sell prices, you're going to have to hold through volatility like this. You can see this coin went up and dumped 80%, went up, dumped 80%. What I think we're seeing right now with our coins is we got up a little bit, we are down right now. But what we're really waiting for is the ETH all-time high where we're going to see gains like this. And I think right now we're at these type of lows right here where people are just being ridiculous before we have a big run up. Yeah, it does suck to be down 70% of your coins, but you have to realize that these coins can replace those downs in a couple candles. You'll see that all your losses will be recovered in 1 to 2 weeks, and then it will double, triple from there. You can see this isn't uncommon at all in crypto. I don't see us going to $1,000 Ethereum. I see us going to a $6,000, $7,000 Ethereum this year though. So to me, it's just like the risk to reward here looks ridiculous. Phenomenal buy point right here. This is the same almost prices that we saw during FTX. Like, let's go back when FTX happened right here. Like right here is the FTX crash. Like, we're not that far away from it. We saw it got down to like 1,200 for a second, but where it mostly hovered at was about $1,500. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay? You have to understand, inflation raged past this point too. So in terms of inflation, we're probably almost at these points. We're looking at like 6% inflation during these time periods right here. So one, keep that in mind.
알렉스 베커는 현재 암호화폐 시장 가격이 FTX 사태 당시와 유사한 수준이며 시장의 과도한 공포 반응은 오히려 기회라고 주장합니다. 그는 결과적으론 2025년 암호화폐 시장을 낙관적으로 바라보며 트럼프 정부의 정책 변화가 시장을 다시 펌핑할 가능성이 높다고 보고 있습니다. 특히 이더리움의 상승이 알트코인 시장을 견인할 것이며 지금처럼 시장이 최악처럼 느껴지는 시점이 역사적으로 가장 높은 수익률을 기록했던 시점이었다고 강조합니다. 여러분들은 어떻게 생각하시나요? 우리는 객관적인 시각으로 투자를 해야 하고 지금 당장만 보고 투자할 게 아니라 미래를 보고 투자를 해야겠죠. 010-2472-0429 전화번호로 탈겜이 적어서 문자 보내주시면 2025년 비트코인과 코인 시장에 대한 분석 정보들 공유해드리겠습니다. 현재 우리에게 중요한 것은 이러한 정보를 어떻게 활용할 것인가입니다. 지금까지 영상 시청해주셔서 감사하고요. 다음에 더 좋은 영상으로 찾아뵙겠습니다. 감사합니다.